What is up, guys? SY here, and today I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes, put him on all 32 teams. We'll see how he fares, how good of a quarterback he is, who he wins the Super Bowl with, makes the Pro Bowl with, wins awards with. We're going to get into all of it. Remember, if you like this video, hit that like, subscribe, comment down below who you'd like to see me do this with again. All right, let's get started. We're going to start with the Chiefs first, regular team, so let's get right into it. All right, in his first season with the Chiefs, he finished third in passing with 4,922 yards, third in the NFL, 35 touchdowns, 10 picks, 12-5 record. If he won any awards. Did not win any awards with the Chiefs, so see how he fares in these playoffs. Won his first game, real life matchup here with Jacksonville, conference championship with the Dolphins. He loses in the conference championship with the Dolphins. We're going to put him on the AFC West Chargers next. Get to that. All right, with the Chargers, he finished with 5,165 passing yards, 47 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. No MVP. Keenan Allen won the Offensive Player of the Year with him, so 13-4 record, and he faces his old team in the playoffs. See how this goes. Lose to the Chiefs in the wild card round. Didn't really make the Chargers much better. Okay, we will go to the AFC West Broncos next. All right, after a season with the Broncos, he finished with 5,150 yards, 48 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Really good numbers. A 9-8 record, and they did not make the playoffs. See if there's an award there, but he won the MVP. No playoffs. Pretty interesting. All right, we'll go to the AFC West Raiders next. All right, with the Raiders, he goes with 5,251 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. 12-5 record and the playoffs. To finish second in MVP voting. Not the Offensive Player of the Year, so let's check these playoffs out. They lose in the wild card round. Overall, in the AFC West, he had his best team season with the Chiefs, making it to the conference championship. Best individual success was with the Broncos winning the MVP. Let's head over to the AFC East now, and we'll start with the Bills. All right, his first season with the Bills is in the books. 5,098 yards, 40 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. A 9-8 record. They did make the playoffs. Like, no awards. Check out if he can advance in the postseason. Nope, first round exit. No better than Josh Allen. All right, let's go to the Dolphins next. All right, and after a season with the Dolphins, he finishes with 4,791 passing yards, 38 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, a 12-5 record, and he looks like he is the MVP. First round bye in the playoffs, so let's see how they do. Patriots in the divisional round. Let's see if he can take the step here. Okay, now Buffalo in the conference championship. Looks like they lost to Buffalo in the conference championship 24-19. That so far has been the best seasons with the Dolphins. Next, we will go to the Jets. All right, after a season with the Jets, he had his worst statistical passing year, 4,303 yards, 37 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions, 11-6 record. Did not win any, or finished 4th in MVP voting. To the playoffs to get the Broncos first round. Bengals in the divisional round. 15-2 Bengals. Oh, he made it back to the conference championship. The Bills. Oh, they beat the Bills. They're going to the Super Bowl. Right, they beat the Bills. Now they got the 49ers in the Super Bowl. 37-0 victory in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. Off to the Patriots. All right, season with the Patriots was not good at all. 4,390 yards, 30 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. 5-12 record. No playoffs. Not even Patrick Mahomes could overcome Matt Patricia's bad offense. All right, we are off to the AFC North and the Ravens next. Season with the Ravens is in the books, and it was not a good statistically. 3,480 yards, 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He finished 31st in passing, 9-8 record, and no playoffs. We're off to Cleveland. All right, after the season with the Browns, he finishes with 4,461 yards, 43 touchdowns to 18 interceptions. 9-8 record and no playoff. On to the Bengals. After the season with the Bengals, he statistically made them worse. A 9-8 record. His numbers look good. 5,182 yards, 35 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Did not make the playoffs. I think Joe Burrow would have. Now we're on to the Steelers. After his year with the Steelers, he survives the Matt Canada offense with 4,544 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 10-7 record in the playoffs. See how they fare. They get the Bills in the first round. That is it. They lose to the Bills 17-14. We're off to the AFC South and the Colts. After the season with the Colts, another down year, 4,064 passing yards, 28 touchdowns to 15 picks, 7-10 record, no playoffs. We're on to Tennessee next. All right, his season with the Titans is in the books, 4,128 yards. That's pretty low for him. 22 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 8-9 record. He didn't make him any better, no playoffs. On to the Texans. After the year with the Texans, very bad year, 4,197 yards, 31 touchdowns, to 7 interceptions, a 5-12 record, no playoffs. Not even Patrick Mahomes can save the Texans. All right, on to the last team in the AFC, the Jaguars. Right after the season with the Jaguars, he has his best season in the AFC South, 4,712 yards, 41 touchdowns, to 12 interceptions, an 11-6 record, and they make the playoffs. Here we go, the Dolphins in the first round of the playoffs. Get a victory there, so the Broncos in the division. Takes them to the conference championship against the Buffalo Bills. Let's see. They lose that game 35-20. So that is a wrap on the AFC. So far, one Super Bowl with the Jets. He's got an MVP with the Dolphins and the Broncos, but only that one Super Bowl. So let's head to the NFC East first. All right, his first season in the NFC East is with the Cowboys. Finished with 4,976 yards, 46 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. They finished the season with a 13-4 record and the playoffs. They get the Cardinals in the first round. Oh, good. They lose 27-21. Obviously, a huge upgrade over Dak, but didn't make him a Super Bowl contender. All right, off to Philadelphia next. All right, in the season with the Eagles, he finishes with 4,913 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 9-8 record, and we got the playoffs. Green Bay, at Green Bay, in the wild card. Do not get it done. 9-8, that finishes the Eagles. Going to New York. With the Giants, he finished with 4,415 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions, a 9-8 record. No playoffs. He didn't really improve the team. Off to the Commanders. And another slow season in the NFC East with the Commanders. 4,797 yards, 39 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Numbers aren't bad, but another 9-8 record. No playoffs. We're heading to the NFC North next. First season in the NFC North with the Bears. He goes for 4,272 yards, 48 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Finished 8-9, didn't make the playoffs, but it's a huge improvement from what they were with Justin Fields. Let's move on to Minnesota next. In his season with the Vikings, 5,220 yards, 44 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I'm eager to see how Justin Jefferson, not even the leading receiver on his team, Adam Thielen was his favorite target. 9-8 record, made the playoffs. He also finished with an MVP this year. Let's see how they fare in this playoff game against the 7-10 Cardinals. Wow, a 31-28 loss to the 7-10 Cardinals. Wow. We are on to Detroit next. In his season in Detroit, he went 9-8, 4,713 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions, and he took Detroit to the playoffs. And they get Green Bay on the road. Let's see how they fare. Get a win, 27-24. Now they go up against Dallas in the divisional. And they win that, so we got Eagles in the conference championship. They lose that game 25-21. Overall, not a bad season. All right, on to Green Bay. Final team from the NFC North, the Packers, gets 4,331 yards, 39 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Another 8-9 record and no playoffs. So he statistically made them worse than they were the year before. All right, his first season in the NFC South is complete with the Panthers. 4,692 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Another 9-8 record, no playoffs. He did make him better, though. Next, we are off to Atlanta. With the Falcons, he finishes with 5,147 yards, 38 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 12-5 record, and the playoffs. They win the division. Look at the Bucks right here in the first round. Let's see how it goes. And they lose to the Bucks 35-28. All right, off to New Orleans next. In his season with the Saints, he made them tremendously better. 13-4 record, 4,765 yards, 47 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and the playoffs. They get the Commanders in the first round, the wild card here, so beat the Commanders, and now the Giants in the divisional round. Eagles in the conference championship. Beat Philadelphia, and they will play in the Super Bowl. Indianapolis Colts in the Super Bowl. They lose Super Bowl to the Colts 35-21. Now, on to Tampa. All right, after a season with the Bucks, he led the league with 5,466 passing yards, led the league with 48 touchdowns, he had 16 interceptions, finished second in MVP voting. He got him to 10-7 and a playoff appearance. You get the Vikings here. So they advance. Now it's the Eagles. Looks like they lose to the Eagles 38-32 and a heartbreaker there. So he kept them afloat, had a good offensive statistics, but no Super Bowl. Next, on to our last division, NFC West. All right, in his season with the Cardinals here, 4,837 yards, 27 touchdowns, a lot of interceptions, 15. They finished 6-11 and no playoff. Next, on to Seattle. And after the year with the Seahawks, 4,746 yards, 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Very bad record, 4-13. Didn't make the Seahawks better at all. We're on to San Francisco next. In his year with the 49ers, I think this is his lowest passing yardage. 3,872 yards, 36 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. But they did finish 12-5. Honestly, this is the team I expected him to do the best with. So let's see how they fare in the playoffs here. The Giants get a date with the Cowboys. Lose to the Cowboys in the divisional round. What a disappointment. We're off to the final team, defending champions, Los Angeles Rams. All right, with the final team, he finished with 4,675 yards, 44 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 13-4 record. He also was the MVP of the league. They will earn a first-round bye in the playoffs. The divisional round, they will face the Commanders, beat the Commanders, now the 49ers in the conference championship. A heartbreaking loss, 20-17. That comes to an end. All in all, at the end of the day, I don't think EA thinks too highly of him. He didn't really come out and change many franchises. Bad ones, he didn't make them better. He won the MVP a total of 4 times. He only won 1 Super Bowl with the Jets. It seemed like 9-8 and 8-9 was his most common record. So overall, it wasn't successful. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, subscribe, comment down below who you'd like to see me do this with again. Until next time.